Welcome to what is probably going to end up being a series of pick a card readings. These readings you can watch at any time in relation to anything currently in your life. So we've got 3 readings, they're all face down. And to begin with, we have a stone or a crystal or a rock with each reading here. Reading number 1. Do check out the time stamps, and you can bypass or look at all of them, however you feel. Reading number 1. Here we are. We're looking at this beautiful quartz crystal. This is one of my favourite. It's hard to see the luminosity of it. This is one of my favourite stones, crystals I should say, and often one of the first ones that I think everyone knows what a quartz crystal is. We have a great charger, a great clarifier and translator with this beautiful crystal. So let's look at that reading. What do we begin with here? Wow. So we've got the tower, big things shifting, lots of new information coming through. We are being activated as as maybe we work with and alongside these crystals, stones, things in our lives we're co-creating here. The tower heralds in great insight. Don't be alarmed at that. So it's very interesting. Big changes, big shifts, shaking up of foundations, revealing some new things. We have strength with this, which is a good thing. We understand. We've got new perspectives actually on ourselves, and therefore in relation to others, in relation to the things, events, circumstances that are going on in our life here. With that, we have Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle, Fairies of the Future. We're looking ahead here. So the old is crumbling, as we see, and there's new potential for the future, and we're running with it. We're looking ahead. Still being aware of the now, of course. Journey map card, we need a lot of faith here with card reading number 1. And we have a talk about luminosity, glowing light. We recognize this, not only in ourselves, as I said before, but in all of those we come into contact with, that we associate with, that we're doing deals with, that we're just meeting with. We see in faith the pathways of light that animate all of us. It's life force. For all the differences, for all the dualities and opposites in life, there is one common factor which amongst plant, animal, mineral, human, we all have a life force, a wonderful pantheist approach to life in this card, which means that we can meet others on even ground without defense when we understand the concept that we are all basically pathways of light animated by. It's quite big. It's quite a big shift in terms of perspective and mind here, as much as anything else. What do the animal spirits say? They give us this gorgeous tarantula out exposed. I always see this card as a form of exposure, taking your time, doing your thing, and not really being too concerned with actually the sort of peripheral stuff here. There's some big things afoot. We need to be aware of of sort of making changes and activations in our own life individually before that filter starts to filter out, starts to be seen in the larger world. It's pretty amazing. We've got these little love messages in here as well. So, safe to express freely. Seek a friend's ear if need be. Communicate. Communication is the key here. And what do the Harlequin and stars have for us in this reading number 1 with quartz crystal? It says look for signs and signals, and no doubt you'll be seeing quite a few around for reading number 1 if that's the one you chose to watch today. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. And here we venture to reading number 2 for you today. Reading number 2, we have this beautiful, beautiful green calcite. This particular stone, which I wear occasionally, reminds me of a little chrysalid actually. It's the perfect shape. A great heart stone, of course. We have sea calcite in gold and oranges and very milky blue sometimes, which is really beautiful. A general overall good time stone, you know, green calcite. We experience this in relation to the heart and heart opening and a kind of comfort and being comfortable with the balance between our mind and our heart. A stone or crystal that encourages that. So this is one of my, I love it, one of my favourite stones. I love that. So what does green calcite have for you? Reading number 2. We're looking at new things being birthed. We are looking at creative projects, actual birthings here with the Princess of Discs. Beautiful card, seasonal card, timing card. But we see the pregnant belly here. Something is coming through the pipeline, is being born, something to be really excited about, I feel. A great excitement. Speaking of chrysalids, with the shape of the green calcite, we then have the Hanged Man. This may well take some time. We need to clear up some loose ends. We need to practice some self-forgiveness and loving compassion. And in fact, loving compassion will then more easily be expressed to others. The Hanged Man, a time of stasis. I liken this often to a chrysalid or to a little caterpillar melting and dissolving. There is a dissolving going on in order to create something new, in order to give something form that is new and fresh and amazing. And it may well be a surprise in the way that it presents itself, where we have gotcha. This is a surprise card, and is often the case when we have been working away at something, preparing the way for something new to come through. You know, it doesn't always appear in the form that we imagined that it would. It can be slightly different. That's the beauty of it. And that surprise card. What does the journey map have? Action. So there will be a time where it's just sort of pour. I kind of get a thing, pouring out, sort of pouring out in a nice way. I don't know why I go. An expression. New ways of expressing feeling. New ways of expressing emotion. A part of this birthing here. Reading number 2. And what do we get? Yeah, we're putting our little sensory feelers out here. We have the bat and the Kim Cran's beautiful animal spirit cards. We're actually, we're kind of possibly the cycles over this next month, the eclipses, the cycles of the moon, give us a level of illumination as to how this new creation, new creative thing will present itself, will drop into the basket. The bat, sensory creature, sonar, radar. We've got our sensory feelers out here. Combined with action is a powerful thing. This is about other people involved here as well. Reading number 2, we have shared integrity, commitment. We're on the same page. We feel people around us, our community, whatever it is, we're all on the same page here. We know what's happening. And then, stars and harlequins, commit to yourself. Exactly, commit to yourself. Commitment, commit to yourself. Central intelligence, do you have equal compassion for yourself as you do, as much as you do for others in your life? This is really all around the heart center here for reading number 2. Well, okay, and then now reading number 3. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Reading number 3, we have this gorgeous piece of granite. Wonderful, I find granite to be, and this was a trip up to Arthur's Pass, which is along the spine, the southern Alps that is literally like the spine of the South Island in Aotearoa. This is a piece of granite that I got from an area which is a sort of, I guess you could say, a seasonal riverbed that it collects. It's a channel for all the melting snow in the spring, a great river. At other times of the year, it's very small, but it's a huge, vast mountainous area. Pretty amazing. And I love this granite. I see granite and feel granite to be a very almost neutralising stone, and definitely a very earthed out stone. So it may well relate to why you chose reading number 3. Here we have, and yes, earthed out, we are dealing with worldly, very 3D, physical matters, which are equally, obviously, important. We have the 5 of discs, which is a card of understanding aspects in our life where we may have a kind of lack mentality. We talk about this because we all have that in various different ways at different times, maybe not constantly, but often it lurks in the back of the mind. We have the Hierophant. I do get a feeling from this that we're seeking some answer here, and we have the opportunity to tackle it, for it to be revealed to us. The Hierophant, a card of esoteric information. It can be, of course, in a more traditional sense. This card is institutions, which you may feel that you're up against it, that you're up against structures and institutions currently. A lot of people do. We're living in it. We're living through it. Interesting. Excuse me. But we are breaking free of some old patterns. We have the Spirit Dancer. Breaking free in order to fully express. Really important to fully express. and to express to those without holding back. I mean, in the sense where we might put something off. Oh, look, I haven't seen such and such. This is on a very simple level. I haven't seen such and such for a long time. Oh, I must get in touch. Rah, rah, rah. You know, life can be very short. It can change and shift at any moment. And so don't hesitate to contact those that are dear to your heart, whatever your relationship has been, whether it's been a rocky ride, whether it's not. Don't hesitate when you get that feeling that you want to connect with someone, that you want to catch up with someone. Anyway, that's what I get from this. We have Jenny Map, the Timeline Magician. Once we understand what this Hierophant is for us, reading number 3, we can actually shift energies at will. Once we've overcome whatever the blockage is with the 5 of discs, because I do feel that here. Once we've overcome, it's only a small thing. It's not like suddenly you kind of revamp your entire ways of thinking or feeling or being. It's one little thing at any given time. Sometimes it just takes one leap over a wee hurdle. Express yourself in a different way to if I'm not really explaining myself that well, am I? The proof is in the pudding. So you see the results of bypassing a robotic train of thought. Now you know what your robotics are, your defaults. One little tiny shift in that can alter a lot of different things. The Timeline Magician is about shifting timelines, shifting energy, moving at will. And I say the proof is in the pudding because you only have to see the results of this in one very small way in order to spur you on to continue. Reading number 3, what Kim Cran's animal? Wow, yes, that's right. There's a lot of sensory absorption going on at the moment, I do feel. We have the beautiful owl. The owl, I love the owl with its 360-degree bilocation of the head, if that's the right word. That it literally is a satellite dish with wings. The owl is amazing. We don't see, but we see in a different way. We're starting to see in a different way, reading number 3, which is beautiful and interesting. This is accelerating growth big time. We have Pursuit, Catch Me If You Can. These are sort of semi-love kind of cards. Pursuit, Catch Me If You Can. I'm almost the Pied Piper. That's that song that I get with the Timeline Magician. Almost the Pied Piper with a whole new sensory understanding. Going beyond the default mechanisms. Reading number 3. And Stars and Harlequins, we have for you objectivity. It is your friend at the moment. So on that note, thank you for joining me. I love, what the cards seem to come up with on each particular stone. We could be using plants. We could be using anything. The beauty of stones, rocks, crystals is that spending time with them or gravitating towards certain ones at any given time, and of course they're all around us, it's interesting to sit with something like that, even shells, and just, it's not just going and getting certain things, like this is for peace and harmony. I'm going to put this in my pocket and walk around and it's going to magically do something for me. In my mind, it doesn't work that way. We have an exchange here with every compound and every element. And stones, crystals, rocks, it's the same deal, We have an interaction. It's as much of what a crystal or stone gives to us as much as we give something of ourselves to them. But anyway, we're not going into the science part of it because that's a whole other thing. This is just random readings. You can choose to watch all of them. As I said in the first one I did, you can choose to watch all of them in relation to a current situation, person, circumstance, whatever in your life. Or, of course, you can choose one or two. You can choose whatever. But it's all really beautiful. Whatever stone, rock you resonate with at this point in time. But they're all gorgeous, and so I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time around. Actually, for this reading for the moon, for the full moon, lunar, partial, lunar eclipse in Taurus on the 19th. That'll be up shortly. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Take care.